Yeah, now we're live. We're live, no recording yet, just live. Live, let me prepare 2 recordings. Backup. Okay, this one is going, this one is rolling. I'm marginally ready. Okay. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Hello everyone. I just have realized that I made a stupid mistake when I started recording. Anyway, in the Reaper you can record in the middle of the track. So if I will forget about this, then I will have approximately 1 hour of silence, and then before. And let me start usual. Welcome to the Non-Intuitive Beats podcast, brought to you by the Leaders Club that you are part to if you're listening to us, but do consider elevating your membership by joining Discord channel. We do actually respond to people in Discord channel periodically. And today in the virtual studio with me, we have Dmitry Manarigov. Say hi.
Hello, it's me again.
And the voice that you currently hearing, annoying voice, is from me, Slava Kovalevsky. I still cannot unsee this amazing drawing on both of us in the Discord channel that someone did last time. Alexander, yes, that was Alexander. Let me actually see, did we have any comments already? No, we don't have any comments in the chat and the Discord. My friend, how are you doing? I have tons of the topics, but they are all small. They are all very, very small. So yeah, I don't have...
Surprisingly, I have nothing this week. Somehow I manage chill and relax. Besides my one day in office, I actually started to watch Oppenheimer. So apparently, when you have baby, you don't have much time to watch 3-hour movies. But I found really cool feature on Apple TV.
Okay.
Apparently, you can connect 2 pair of AirPods to Apple TV, and they sound pretty good, at least for me. So we are able to watch like a movie together with my wife while baby was sleeping. I managed to watch like half of movie. I like it so far, but pretty much looks like a very standard biopic.
True. To be fair. Yeah, this ship have sailed. I would highly suggest to watch in the proper IMAX because it was.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like a picture is good. I still don't get to place where they make an explosion, so I'm waiting for that one. I actually bought a book, History of Atomic Bomb or something like this, or Nuclear Bomb. I don't remember, so I'm going to read it after probably.
God, it's the history of the bombing, or no? That's probably not.
No, it's like atomic or nuclear bomb.
Yeah, history of atomic bomb. Yeah, the making of the atomic bomb. Got it.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. You know, speaking about the movie, I started watching the Black Mirror season 6.
Okay.
And I must say that only first episode is reasonable. Like you're watching the first episode, it's like, oh, it's interesting. I probably will give it a go. It feels like they learned the lesson and they're improving. And then episode 2, episode 3. Let me put it this way: it's not as bad as season 4, because I think season 5 was just one movie where they tried to make interactive. Season 6 is probably marginally better. But I'm not sure if I would recommend it to anyone.
Is it still like like each episode made by different director, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And they hire pretty much really good actors for some of them. But the interesting part that's the episode where they put the star actors, it's so. It's not the best, at least so far.
I see.
Yeah, but the worst part, looks like they click the formula. If you have a really good episode 1, not that it's really good, but it has this feeling of nostalgia of the good Black Mirror when you're watching actually interesting and you have a food for thought in that.
Pigs involved or any other animals?
Pigs? No, there is no pigs involved at least in the first several episodes. Let me... Actually, I wanted to show something. I've realized that I have a completely wrong page prepared. Shit. And now I have to quickly find it. I wanted to share an interesting story about the investment. And for sharing that story, I actually wanted to show something. And I cannot find the right page to show it. Oh, Jesus. But let me start vocalizing at least high level what I wanted to show. So, how I told you about investments through Lego.
I remember you were talking about like buying Lego and selling them after they became rare or something.
Yeah, it's a very simple concept that actually extremely profitable, at least so far. And, maybe it will start being profitable. I don't know. But the concept is, again, very, very simple. You looking at the old Lego sets that's going to be retired and you're just literally buying them. And then usually what happens, the price going several x up after the Lego retiring them, because you no longer can actually buy them or you no longer can get them. It's actually very simple to even check. You can take any Lego sets that Lego retired in 2023 and then just check the price, and you will see that something that was selling for $200 will be selling for $350, $450 up. And this is, we are now in January. If you will just hold them for a little longer.
Yeah, but it's one of the reasons why I don't sell a lot of like home stuff. I hate really to find people to sell them. Maybe with Lego is better, but when you're trying to sell something like a toaster or microwave, there's so much hassle and like people are weird. Like you need to meet them. A lot of scam. I don't know how it is in the Lego world.
Oh, but there is a simple way. If you're okay to wait, you can sell through Amazon. If you will actually register for yourself as a seller on Amazon, put it on Amazon, sure, you will get then stars and all this stuff, but that's fine. That's pretty much the way to go. If you're selling it for the small margin and just need to sell one item, going through the processes is a hassle, I agree. But if you actually doing something like that, yeah, it's worth your while.
Talking about investments, today I participated in buying US treasuries from auction.
From auction?
Yeah. Apparently, it's not harder than buying from secondary market. Mm-hmm. Technically, I didn't buy. I just opened a position because auction will be on Monday.
Okay.
And I found it's really interesting how they... Did you try it before?
On auction, never. Always from the second market. Never from the auction.
It's an interesting way how they do it. So essentially, every few weeks, US government trying to sell some bonds. Mm-hmm. And they always go with the amount of money they need. Like we need 20 billions. Mm-hmm. But they don't yet have a rate for these bonds. People before that, they put money and say, okay, I will buy like 1 billion on like 7% or higher, like coupon percentage. So what they do like when action happens, they get all these bids, sort them increasing order. Mm-hmm. The good part, you as a retail investor always be at first because you are non-compete. You don't actually decide what percentage. You say, okay, I just buy whatever. Mm-hmm. So they sort all of us, all people with bids. Mm-hmm. They grab first top what they need, like 20 billions. Mm-hmm. They pick highest percentage, like the one who say, okay, one in the end with the highest percentage and apply to all people. So when you buy an action, you actually get best price. I mean, everyone gets the same price, but it's always the best price for you.
Interesting. Interesting. That is really interesting. So, and you're buying it from Treasury, whatever, direct?
I just went with a Schwab. Apparently, you can just use brokerage. You can use Treasury direct, but for me, brokerage was easier.
Got it. So I want to just share one thing for you to consider and pay attention to. So when you're buying a bonds, unlike shares, they rarely trade in units of 1 or 2 share. So if you're buying, let's say 2 or 3 or 5 bonds, and you're not then later buying the same bond more and more, you might be facing the problem if you want to sell now.
I see. So they're not very liquid in this case.
Yes, you technically can. You can always borrow money, buy a rest amount of bonds that you need for a smaller sell. And the way how it goes, the smallest amount of sell will give you the worst money on the second market. The more you're selling, and the vice versa. If you're buying more, you can buy slightly better price than you're buying less. And that's like a real problem. I used to have what is called a bond ladder. Bond ladders is effectively when you're buying bonds with the different months of expiration, so you can actually get cash constantly. So slowly we will be getting cash. And I was doing that until I realized that I'm slicing my things in a chunk of bonds, like 5 bonds, 10 bonds, so to speak. And time to time, the minimum selling quantity is 50 bonds. Like 50 bonds, like 50K. And because I sliced it so thin, I had actually to wait until I find the buyer that okay to buy 1 or 2 bonds and sell at minimum. So it's not that exactly 1 or 2. They usually the buyers will say, I will buy from blah, minimum blah with this price. So this is interesting. There was part where you actually, and there was an interesting part opposite. There was a time when bonds were so popular that you could not buy 1 or 2. Everyone was selling like I'm selling only 200 plus, and then that's it. So
interesting. I didn't know about this part.
Yeah. Okay. Since we're speaking about the investment, and I still fail to find the list of the exact website that I wanted to share. No, I might have. No, I haven't. Actually, yes. Finally, this is the one. This is the one that I have used. So this list of 2024 that they retired, and just look what they're going to retire. They're going to retire NASA Space Shuttle Discovery. Like that's exactly the one that, like, right there.
The main problem is how to buy them, but resist opening and assembling.
Not a problem for me. Here's one. Here's the one. Then they retire Porsche 911.
When they publish this list, the same year?
I don't know. I actually have several sites that I periodically open, but it's once per year, so I even forgot. So I literally forgot about this. This site I like because you can literally update the year and the end, and they have the same link for each year. And then you see you have this year, and you can even check, like, go and find something.
I'm curious how it still works. I mean, if this strategy is well known, right, and people are aware of it, how it still work? Why not balanced itself?
I think it will. This is not the known strategy in the sense that I heard it from random dude, like this doing it. I'm pretty sure it will be known at some point. And this is not something that even if people who are hearing would be willing immediately to jump into. For many reasons, including like hustle to sell, to store, to yeah. So this is an interesting investment. Let's put it this way. But yeah, let's give you exactly the numbers that you need to punch in Amazon. And
next step, you should tell other people after you telling about the strategy. Is you can say, hey, and you know what? I have few Porsche 911 with me, and I can sell it to you with a really good price. In 1 year, you will become rich.
Oh man, yeah. Pump and dump with Lego sets. That's the future, yes. Speaking about, since we started speaking about the investments, First of all, I have two things that I want to recommend. Actually, first, not recommend, just start doing. I start selling my own options. So I selling options. This strategy works interestingly well. This is my first experience. I used to buy options. Now I'm actually issuing options.
Okay. I remember some parts of it, but I always mistaken which one doing what. So when you're selling, what is happening?
Oh, when you're selling, you effectively can sell two options. And by the way, I'm constantly confusing put or call. So I apologize. I've been in the investment so many years. I still struggling to remember which is which. But one is effectively says that you are issuing the right for anyone to sell to you 100 shares for a particular price. If you're issuing that options, you have to have money at any point in cash to buy those shares. And another one where when you're issuing the right to sell a particular amount of shares. In this case, you have to have 100 shares of that company, or you can actually buy another option that allows you to buy shares with a different price. So then you need to have that option and a cash.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Which one do you use?
So mostly I'm issuing the options that allow me to buy with a particular price.
From you?
Yes, so someone can go to me and force me to buy 100 shares for a particular price.
From them, okay.
And the reason why I usually playing with these options, so the way how it works is that they would buy it by cheap on the market and sell me by higher price that I'm asking, so to speak. But the idea here is that in this mode, I'm keeping the shares. So if I, for example, do believe that NVIDIA will go up, right? I think it will go up. I can issue the options that allow me to buy NVIDIA 10% lower. Sell shares that I will buy your shares with a price with a price that lower than current price of NVIDIA.
Okay.
So now effectively, if the price of the NVIDIA goes down, anyone on the market can buy NVIDIA and go and sell it to me, and I will lose money in this case.
But you lose a limited amount, right? It's a good thing because NVIDIA can go down to zero, but not below zero, right?
Correct. It's still, comparing to earning from options, I still will lose. If NVIDIA goes down to zero, I will lose huge amount of money comparing to what I have earned. Mm-hmm. So here there is two implicit things. I actually assume that NVIDIA will not go to zero. Mm-hmm. And two, what I'm betting here that if NVIDIA even will go down and I will be forced to buy with a higher price, I still can keep shares. So the moment shares will go up, and this is second assumption. And if you're playing the strategy right, you will be earning small amount of money. This actually conflicts with my own philosophy because I'm earning small amount of money but exposed to a bigger risk. I hate to do so, but I wanted to just try. I never issued options. I usually would be buying them and playing with others, but not issuing. And for some of the shares like NVIDIA, it's probably reasonably safe. I mean, it's not something where I put all my money, as usually.
Yeah, but I mean, the good part, again, even if it's like goes down a tremendous amount of money, it's still finite. I remember I also confuse which one or which, but there's a strategy with options which are reversed. And if stock option, like price goes like up many times, like NVIDIA makes something really good, it makes like 5-10 times bigger stocks, then you fucked really because there's no high cap on this.
Oh yes. The reverse one is horrible. But to be fair, if you want to play that mark, the way how you play it, so you issuing the options that says that you will have to not to buy, you will have to sell with a smaller price. So you can do it in two ways. One, you already have a shares. In this case, nothing will happen. You will sell it for a small price. The second is where you buying someone else options. So someone else give you an option that says that I will sell you NVIDIA for $500. NVIDIA doesn't cost that much, but you're buying that option for the sake that if it go to 1,000, and someone tells you I want to buy 20 per share, and you now have to buy 100, you will not be forced to buy with 1,000 price. You can go and use that option. And the worst case, the one that you're describing, that actually usually normal investors like me even legally cannot do, it's called uncovered. Uncovered when they issuing option and I don't have anything. I don't have neither money nor shares. I should have money, but money obviously can run out in this case. If you have many options like that, all of them are running through the roof. You fucked. That's why people jump from the windows when there was a crisis, so to speak. Okay, another thing that I want to, last thing from the investing part, since we start speaking about the investing, is profit taking. So this is an interesting research that, this is an interesting service, so to speak, that's run by a guy who is selling investment advices. But it's not the advices in the sense of newsletters that I'm trying to organize, where I'm which, by the way, doing reasonably well now. But nevertheless, it's not in the sense of investment advices. Here is by the way, my service is not investment advice, and I cannot give it. Just saying, there is a proper disclaimer with each newsletter. But again, it's not for the sake of here is a 5 or 6 shares to watch in the next week. Mm-hmm. This is for day traders, people who actually do day trading with tons of these insights. And if you're actually trying to penetrate day trading, you're starting doing day trading, I would highly recommend. So I really like these small projects from people who are just starting, because quite often they might be quite insightful. With tons of the interesting idea that not yet spread. This is one of these projects that I found. It's the Discord of this guy has like 1,000 people. This means that maybe several hundreds that actually paying. So it's really small community yet.
Yeah, because like when it really spreads, and again, it doesn't work and everyone is using the same strategy.
That's true. But to be fair, I wonder how big you need to go, in the sense that is it really possible that a Discord can have so many people that have a meaningful impact on the market that played by Vanguard, Fidelity?
Oh yeah, but it's like if it goes out of Discord, somehow, like someone say, "Hey, this guy always makes money on our radars." So.
Yeah, there is this guy, Mad Money, who is Jim Cartman. I don't remember. Mad Money, who's main Jim Carmer, of course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there was two mutual funds, one that was trading exactly what Jim Carmer was saying, another that were trading always opposite of he was saying. So the one that was trading what Jim Carmer was saying already bankrupt. The one that trading opposite is still there, still alive. Yeah. Take it with a face value. This is just information and facts.
Yeah, I think it was a inside joke in Uber Blind, because he was like saying that Uber will go like skyrocket like years ago, and like 2 weeks after Uber like crashed down like completely.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yes, I think this is also the guy that told my Spirit company. That's just crazy guy. He's the one that unfortunately said that Bitcoin here to stay, and then Bitcoin went down. That's I was saying that this is a last on the investment, but there is a small topic in between. So there is a nice book going infinite. I'm not sure. I think I started telling about this book, but I have not
told her last time, no? Or maybe it was different, or maybe it wasn't on the podcast.
I think you're right. I think I told it in the end. I was remembering. So let's just
paper book.
Yes, actually I do. Oh, I don't have it with me right now, but it's somewhere.
Actually, next time I need to just grab all books that you already read and don't need.
Yeah, I can give you a few. Unfortunately, I dumped some of them to library at work. But actually, I just in my head, I'm thinking, is it legally to take it back? If those are my book that I shared on the shared part of the library where you're giving up to the community in the library, can we take it back?
At work, I don't think it's like official. You can go and take if you want. But you can say, I mean, I can buy it. I already have a huge backlog of paper books. So.
Oh, this one I have. So this one I will give you for sure. Like others books, there are several others that I did it. Not sure even why. Okay, that's all then for investment. My friend, have you tried LM Studio for a prolonged time? I remember you were saying that you wanted to.
I actually wanted not a LM Studio, but I have another one. This one is more like for fine tuning. It's LM Studio closer to Stable Diffusion UI, like a lot of tunings. I was using another one. I forgot. Essentially web UI for Llama. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't used it much this week because I didn't have like much time on computer. I found I use ChatGPT on iPhone a lot. Oh, want to share really cool hacks that I found. So I wanted to bake a cheesecake, but I wanted to have a small one. And I found really small baking form.
Okay.
And I didn't really want to find recipe and try to adjust and figure out volume. So what I did, I just measured diameter, height, and told ChatGPT, here's the size of my baking dish. Give me a receipt of New York cheesecake that perfectly fits it. And it does. I think the best thread, for all this, I don't know, did you ever search for some receipts and found like receipt websites? Have you ever?
Yeah, of course. Yes. Yep.
They're awful. And I think like ChatGPT just kills them completely.
Makes total sense. But okay, so you said using ChatGPT on iPhone. Are you referring to official ChatGPT or
yes.
that? Okay,
yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I tried to use this specific studio for some amount of time, and honestly, I gave up on the second day. I haven't found any model that even close to acceptable for me that would be also working reasonably fast.
Yeah, they either slow or works poorly, and or both.
Or both, yes. However, interesting thing that I have found, specifically on the search in ChatGPT. So Rabbit, right? I told some time ago about Rabbit Tag, which is like Rabbit. I guess there is a. Oh, sorry, I guess with a. Yes, Rabbit. So this is a device that I was telling before. I pre-ordered this, and when you're pre-ordering this, they actually give you the subscription, which by itself worth several $100 for a year on Perplexity.
On what?
So Perplexity is a really nice service that effectively using ChatGPT to summarize Google search. So this is a main niche. If you actually have something where you need to have a really old style Google search, it does it much better. So it's effectively Googling for you and summarizing. So it's effectively like you would try to engineer the prompt that would try to instruct ChatGPT always do the search. And then they not only doing the summarization. So let me see. What is the capital of France? So just to show the live demo. So it's more or less answers with different link on Wikipedia, related articles and pictures. So it's give you a Google-like answer, but it's actually created by the ChatGPT through the Google search. So it's way more, way better, so to speak, than just having exactly same UI in the Google. It's hard to say because it's a simple question, but the moment you start asking more complex question, and especially if you actually need a search for some reason, ChatGPT didn't give you an answer.
You have feature to summarize page, because that would be cool, like instead of going to page with an answer, say, okay, just retrieve information from there.
Maybe, actually, I have not used it for this specific thing. Okay. But the interesting part that you can actually keep asking the question. So you have a search, and you can now says, I don't know, what about main parts of the city, and keep chatting about the search. That will try to summarize. Again, you see, it also have picture search that it just did. Even though I ask follow-up question, then it has some links and actual answer. So this is a really interesting ChatGPT wrapper that effectively for Google search-like requests under the hood using Google Search. Now it has a premium feature which effectively doing exactly the same as ChatGPT 4. So that was, I really like this service, but time to time you will see that they're using 3.5 under the hood. But if you're paying, it's using 4. And Rabbit, giving you paid subscription. So if you pre-order Rabbit, they will give you, I think, at least 1 year subscription, which is in the value by itself. I think, okay, you need to log in. But if I remember the price, it's actually by itself 1 year subscription roughly on this service. So,
okay, so you get it in some way for free.
Exactly, yes. It's not something that I would buy. I just use it because it's very convenient with 3.5. But yes, if I have Pro version, oh my God, it's so much better. So yeah, this is a highly recommend to try it. It's free. It's literally free. But yeah, for free versions using 3.5, not the 4.
Okay, sounds interesting. I will take a look.
Let me, I think it's in our chat. So yes, it's a Perplexity AI, but let me send it in the Discord, but also in our document. Speaking about GPTs, do you want to tell about our game, my friend? The concept, how we created it. I know the game doesn't exist yet, but I think it was fun.
Slava proposed hackathon, and we pick ideas that I had for a long time to have essentially puzzle game, I would say, like break out of a room that use 2 GPT actors. The idea here is that you have one GPT working as AI, as UI essentially. It interacts with the player, give player what's happening. We're working on a small plot where character is trapped in a room and need to escape it. So one GPT works as UI, saying what's happening and also receives commands, and another GPT has a whole state, whole understanding what's going on, and that one actually do progress of the game. I think it actually work well. Our demo, it's slow because of GPTs, you have 2 response. But yeah, I think it was an interesting concept.
Yeah, I really think we're up to something. I honestly was planning to work more maybe this weekend when if there is a chance to prompt to other aspects, and eventually we can replace actors. So the idea that we will split the game in different actors. Each actors will have its own duties, so to speak. One actor only knows how the world looks like and what the action are taking, and other actors is storing the long-term memory. Because the problem that if you're using only one actor, that actor actually knows everything. And you might think it's useful, in reality it's not.
Yeah, I think in our case, we just need maybe to think about state better to give them better chance. And maybe there should be 2 states, like one hidden, one public, who knows.
Yeah, I think you're right. And actually one thing to try here is to replace actors that inherently stupid with first GPT 3.5, which actually I tried, it worked reasonably well. But then we can use local GPT. So those stupid GPTs actually can be used on some of the actors that we might have really, really well. But we need to try.
Let's go to the next topic. I'm looking at the notes.
These things not specifically from the notes, but I just recalled. So there is this Exit Games. I highly recommend if you haven't played. So Exit the game is effectively a paper escape the room game. Amazing, really amazing. I highly recommend. They have seasons where they constantly releasing new and new and new. Some of them are better, some of them are worse, but the whole idea that they actually have a complexity level, They have the same mechanic for the parts, how you're checking if your puzzle is correct or not correct. So some of the mechanics are transferable. So the moment you understand the game, you can easily pick up the new games and new games and new games. So the puzzles are completely different, but the basic mechanics are very similar. So you actually will know after the first play how it works. And unlike many other games, they incorporating as much shit as possible. So just to give you a perspective, one of the clues that we got playing this game yesterday with my wife was phone minus fax.
Give me a second.
Yes.
Phone minus
fax.
Printer.
That's the first thing that I actually responded. I responded exactly the same.
Okay.
So it turns out, on the box, you have the official phone of the company and fax of the company. You see, literally need to take phone minus the fax numbers, and the end numbers was. And the ways how they're finding to incorporate real words, and the moment you're realizing, oh shit, oh my god, yes, it was so simple. It's just clicking like that. And this is just one example. They're doing it amazingly well. They one time convinced, it was so convinced that the game is broken, so they give you a second pair of parts of this game because they have not passed the quality control, so it's a replacement to original parts. Turns out it's a part of the game, and like you have to figure out why they're different. And so yeah, it was. Anyway, so this is just cool things. I pick it up when the COVID started, and I'm still using them. And again, they have a different levels of complexity, so you can start with a simple one and then slowly go more complex, and some of them are better, some of them are worse. As probably anything that constantly updating. But yeah, overall, highly recommend. Okay, with more topic about this front. Oh shit, I forgot about GPT. Yeah, I forgot about one more topic about the GPT. So one of the most popular GPTs right now out there is AI Girlfriend. That's like right now the most useful GPT, the most frequently used GPT. So here is a question for you, my friend. Where is all AI boyfriends?
So I think to answer this, first we need to say how many males use ChatGPT in general and how many females, to see the split. Maybe there are like 1% of females using ChatGPT, that's why all AI boyfriends. And then we need to find statistics adjusted to this amount. So we don't know. That's my... Maybe there are actually a lot of AI boyfriends, just like not many users.
So you're saying that all these males with toxic masculinity just forbidding the female to use ChatGPT, and therefore, as a result, not many girls using ChatGPT.
I'm not saying that.
Oh man, but yeah, I agree with the line of.
I can use the opposite, right? So the world is that females get less money for job.
Okay.
So they less likely to pay for subscription for ChatGPT. That's where inequality lies.
But why are they getting less money? Because there is toxic masculinity that don't give them money that they earning. So, but yeah, I agree with you with line of thoughts. Probably, yeah, just less female that using that and more males that using that. Probably that is the case. The interesting part, they actually policing these bots. So you cannot, for example, have a virtual sex with this bot. They actually policing that. If your bot can start being horny or speak about some interesting topics, they will.
Okay,
they will.
Business idea, new business idea.
Oh my god. Oh.
How much money you need to train a model?
So. Not that much, actually. And the biggest problem is the rig that you need for inference. Because for the training, even though you need a bigger training, you don't need it permanently. You can invest one time. For inference, you have something that constantly there that will cost a fortune. I think I might have mentioned a friend of mine and I were trying to see if it was investing to buying a one rig and two of us and hosting the model. And yeah, so far, no. The answer is no. Even 4090, if you will buy several of those, there is still not good enough model that you can deploy. And for this business, you probably need a really good model for idea that you probably having in your head.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, you definitely can't buy it. It's like more rather renting or something.
You know, if you have a good enough model, I actually probably think that it's more cost effective at this point to buy. Yes, it felt like, because the price of rent will only go up so far. And they constantly changing GPUs, so even if you will try to use more cheaper GPU, it will not be forever. They retiring them so fast, much faster than they're retiring these days CPUs. So if you need in 1 gigahertz, you can stick to an older CPU for much longer than you theoretically can stick to an older GPU in the cloud. Yeah, that's at least for some time it will be the case. I don't know for how long.
Yes.
On that note, since we're starting, you know, there is this guy, I forgot his name, but it doesn't matter actually. LeCun probably would be a good point. So the Meta just have announced that they have already bought several hundred thousands of H100, and they're planning to have around 600,000 of H100 GPUs, like whatever that means. And so this year they're expecting to send somewhere like 30 to 35 billions. And I will try to put this in perspective. So I had written it down somewhere. Let me quickly open on the site to just put some perspective on how big this is. And if I written this down, shit, of course I forgot. No, I have it. So Jeff Bezos' biggest yacht have costed 500 millions. Okay. The whole new headquarter of Apple, the whole headquarter with a land, costed 5 billions. And then they investing 20 billions. Meta investing 20 billions in the hardware, which you can build how many? 4 new headquarters of Apple with this money in the hardware to train Llama 3.
So where NVIDIA makes their chips? Like what
Taiwan.
Country?
Taiwan, of course.
Yes. So now you know why they try to buy as much as they can now.
Yeah. Yep. And you know,
there may be no other chance.
That's true. And you know, when you're reading China bought GPUs from NVIDIA, so there was a scandal that said that China government and military actually find a way to overcome the US ban and buy the chips. And you're reading that Meta buying 600,000 in the article about about the China finding the way. You have things like tender documents show thousands entities, and if you look at these entities, some of them will buy 1, some of them will buy 5.
Just want to play games.
It looks like, yes, they're probably playing games. Yes. So yeah, it looks like even if China finding the way, they're finding a way, maybe like 100 stops, but this scale, 600,000, this is just unbelievable. But again, to be fair, they said that they buying 300,000 of H100 and the rest is either in-house build or something else. And they planning to use it for training Llama 3.
It looks like it's such a huge money, right? I'm really surprised no one trying to build like a factory to make these chips. I know like it's a lot of expertise, a lot of details, but it's like a huge amount of money.
You know, it's actually not that much. So here's what I mean by that. I'm trying to be careful. 2 things. 1, actually they do try. That's not fair to say they don't, because Intel has, AMD has, and even TSMC trying to build one in the US. So they're trying to rebuild in the US. But the biggest problem that when everyone, so number 1, fab, which is producing chips, has to be updated regularly. You have to be updating them constantly. And B, because you're selling chips to the whole world, and everyone buying, to some extent, this is unprecedented project where the whole world chipping in to rebuild from ground zero each year. You're rebuilding fab. And when you have unprecedented project like that, when the whole world chipping in to rebuild each year the fab, and it's literally rebuilding from ground up to have the new process of building, even US budget as a nation would not be enough to replicate that process. They can allocate tons of the money to build the fab that probably will be obsolete already by the time they finish, and now they will have to allocate the same amount of money to build another one. So unless TSMC will slowly rebuild the copy themselves, or it will be destroyed and Intel that has fabs in the US will be the main one, I just don't see how this is even possible.
Let's see.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, maybe if the China will attack the Taiwan, that's maybe Intel will become again the manufacturer number one and with their fabs in US, but we'll see. And again, TSMC planning to build something in the US. So far, last time I heard, it was not moving really well.
Yeah, I also hear. Apparently, you can buy cheap for workforce here.
Yeah. I think that is it. Yes. Interestingly, with this news, I got surprised that yes, I think Meta is one of the companies that investing all in open source. This will be the Llama 3 that any of us will be able to use. I don't know. It's. I think Meta is the company right now that investing as much as that investing more to open source than anyone else on the market right now, and that's just surprised me when
especially on the news after OpenAI has a beef between business and scientists, and now OpenAI also say we remove clause of not working with military. Yep. I really waiting for a movie about OpenAI, how Sam Altman just played everyone. It's like better than Facebook movie.
Next Silicon Valley season. Let's wait next Silicon Valley season.
It will be next season. I should.
No. I'm saying that this would be nice to show this as a next Silicon Valley season. Yes. I don't know. I don't think they will make it, but who knows? Okay, actually, since we're speaking about the movie, have you seen this movie from Wired? Jesus, I forgot. Ben Shapiro on the channel. Which channel is Ben Shapiro on? Daily Wire movie about basketball, right?
Is it like a documentary?
Oh no, man. Yeah. This is a comedy about the basketball players that actually not super good or super popular, so to speak, and they have realized that if they declare themselves as transgender, they can play against females. And this is the whole movie. And when they realize that they change the declarance of their gender anytime they want, they effectively can declare themselves as a female at the start of the game and male back again at the end of the game. They can do it. So this is the whole concept of the movie that Daily Wire created. So I haven't yet watched, but I have tons of the folks that I know watch, and the movie is bad in the sense that it's Daily Wire. They don't have a budget usually, so it's a really cheap made movie, so to speak, but it's hilarious. Okay, since we spoke about the movie, I just recalled that. Two things that I wanted to mention. One, have you heard that Apple Vision Pro now can be pre?
Oh yeah, they sold 80,000 in 15 minutes or something.
Yes, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, I was considering to buy it, but I sit down and try to write down what I want to do with it, and I didn't really want to make 3D games yet, or VR games. So I decided, okay, I'll just wait for reviews.
Oh, the summer review is already out because it's already have the people that tried it. But it was saying that it sold 18,000 and it cost 3.5K.
No, not 18, 80.
80, okay, 80,000, So I think so they earned almost 300 millions in the 15 minutes. Obviously, we need to understand how much they're spending on manufacturing it, but man, this is just crazy.
Yeah. It's a big scale.
To be fair, it's not that bad in the sense that you still can pre-order, but you will not get it until roughly at least March. I think. Yeah, at least March.
Yeah, I decided to not buy it. But I think like people actually, I know people who make VR games. VR games slowly getting popular. It's still a niche, but there are companies who specialized on VR games, who make VR games like for different platforms. They probably jump to this one first as well. Plus all kind of like, I think one where this will be really really popular to buy is, you know, like some special trainings for special machinery, for like rare professions, where training is so expensive that cost of these glasses is nothing. I think that would be really like a small but still like very expensive market.
That's true, but I personally actually want to work on these things. So yeah, I know it's heavy, I know all the problem, but actually the one strange person that used to work inside of the Oculus, not for long, and the main problem wasn't weight, wasn't the fact that it's heavy or the battery. No, nothing like that. The main problem for me was pure lack of normal resolution. And if this thing has a really nice resolution, I actually going to work on it. I'm going to put it on me and I'm going to spend tons of the time on it, because this is the thing that I really like in Oculus. If you actually would design your virtual environment properly with the right keyboard, with a mouse, you can only take your hardware keyboard with you. It's all you need. You're sitting in the, I don't know, the Caltrain, in the train or in the car. You're putting this on you and you have your full desktop. In the monitor, in the size place where you want them to be, and you just keep working.
I don't know like if I want to work. I mean, I mostly work from home, but I wanted to say, okay, it's still much more expensive as monitor. But then I check monitor I want to buy, and it still costs $2,500. So not far from this one.
And this is a proper M2 computer right there. But tell me, out of curiosity, what the monitor? Because
it's a Dell 6K. I want it for a long time. I think it's like a perfect set of everything that I want. It has a built-in camera. It has 6K resolution, 32 inches. It has a lot of slots and has KVM on 2 computers with power. Just like exactly all things that I buy as a peripheral. It's in there, so I just want one of these and that's it.
Wait, how does it work? If I'm saying 32 inches?
No, this one is only 32 inches, 6K.
Oh, 8K.
You look at but there's a 6K of 32 inches, 6K.
Yes.
This one.
Okay, so just look on this. So this is 6K. I'm clicking on 34 inches, right? 34 inches.
They have a super shitty website.
Correct. Now tell me, where do you think I will go if I click back on 32 inches?
Join today.
It will go on 8K. So no 6K. Forget about this, even though I wasn't 6K just now. Yeah, it's a horrible website. To be fair, I'm using 5K and LG Ultrafine. Ultrafine. I'm loving it, and I have zero problem with it. So it's my favorite monitor. The only reason why I'm considering to update it to have something that works with iPad, because I have the old one that doesn't work with iPad. But yes, this one is amazing. Like Retina, yeah. It doesn't have KVM, but yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at this one as well until that show up, and then I decided, okay, 32 inches with 6K means I can run it in half resolution, and that would be just perfect, like, for me.
But if you're planning to run at half resolution, why not to buy half resolution?
Because Apple has a much better font rendering. So when you make a half resolution on screen, on like 4K, you can actually see that fonts are actually rendering still in a 4K.
Oh yeah, 4K is for me 5K is a minimum for 30 plus inches. Like if you have 27, even 27 plus, but I hear like 5K is the minimum, because I can see 4K on the 32 inches. Like
but even like I'm running right now on 4K monitor, but I'm running like half, like full HD resolution. because yes, like everything is a bit bigger, but fonts are actually very smooth. Mostly this is a problem because Apple, like macOS, doesn't have really good UI scaling. Like compared, for example, like if you go to Linux, Linux has problem with fonts, but they have tons of options for UI scaling. So for me, the best option is like full HD, but on a half resolution.
Got it. One screen that I wanted to, was considering, but again, this is not a 6K. This is just 5K. This is their new Apple screen because I miss this fact completely. They used to have their own display, and now they made
a studio.
Yeah, they now made a studio display, which is 1.5K and it's 5K Retina, and it supports iPad. It has a camera in built-in. It has, to be fair, it looks like exactly same as my LG, but it's probably support iPad.
I would be surprised if Matrix is exactly the same.
Yes, probably, yes. You're probably right. Unfortunately, none of them support HDR. Like, I don't think this one support. Out of curiosity, HDR, no. Let me use this. Oh, here is a live example of using that service that I mentioned. So I'm saying new thread, studio display. Does it has HDR? So let's see what does it. Doing the search. Does not support HDR. Okay, here is your answer. And you see it searches for Reddit, it analyzes other places, but yeah, Reddit is usually the main one where you find that.
Dell 6K supports something HDR 600. I don't know what does it mean.
Oh, this is actually a good one because you have 1040 Dell 6K supports HDR. This is good. This is interesting. Dell Ultra Sharp 6K. Yes, the Dell Ultra Sharp HDR video conference. Yeah, nice. Yeah, nice. HDR 600. Okay. But like 2 times more. I really love HDR, but like do I really love it 2 times more?
It's almost Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah, yes. And okay, last question. Does Apple Vision Pro supports HDR?
But how it's like support? They have really small screens, so I think it's very hard to achieve black. On the other side, they're so close to your eyes. Yeah, so they don't need like huge brightness.
Here is a twist, and this twist is important. You see this shit? It's compatible with HDR. Because it's there is tons of the monitor, especially cheap Chinese monitor, that says it's HDR compatible. What it really mean that it has decoder that supports HDR, but the matrix might be as shitty as usual matrix. It just will show you the icon that it's HDR. You're like, oh my god, it's HDR. Sure, yes. I don't like this twist. I don't think Apple will do it, but I don't like the twist. Anyway, I think we're precisely an hour. So what do you think we end here, my friend?
We can finish for today.
Okay, thank you everyone for listening to us, and we will be here same time next week. Say bye to everyone, my friend. Bye. Okay, we're still live. Just 2 seconds. I haven't checked comments anywhere. Rocket shuttle going to space force by chance. Rimas, hi, if you're still listening to us. Rocket shuttle. No, we're not going to space, but yeah, we do like rocket shuttles. And we covered this topic in the beginning, by the way. I don't think you were here. Let me stop live session. 3, 2, 1. 1 sec.